Hey, everybody. Tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. Welcome back. I need you to just bear with me if you could, and I'll tell you why. Usually we come on here and we have crack jokes and we have a good time with George and Mark, but something has been happening again. I don't know if you know who Nicole Eggert is from Charles in Charge. In 2018. I hate guys. I hate to do this to you, and I hopefully this is the last time I'm going to talk about this because it's just becoming silly. It's becoming sad and pathetic for her, and so I'm going to try to put this to rest with my wife, who'll be on in a little while, and George, of course, who was helping. But she accused me of some things, and I'll tell you what they are in a minute, of being inappropriate with her, and so did Alexander Polinsky, who played the little boy on the show. I'm going to talk about him as well. But, I don't know if anybody's ever lived through something like this, because what happens is somebody can say whatever they want, say whatever you want about anybody. And it could be 100% lie like this is. Now, it comes out of left field, and you don't know how to react to it. It's just, what did I do? I did what? What is this person doing about? And they go on all the talk shows because my name means something, or it did. It means something to get on a talk show and go on and lie about somebody. And at the time, I was, you're just knocked over. I'm like, I don't even know what this person's talking about. And you get asked to come on the show in the moment, right? Like Nicole did Kelly and Megan Kelly. Yeah, I'm answering to ask your question. And Scott Baio's allowed to come on here. Meantime, Scott Baio doesn't know what the hell's happening. And what am I going to do? Am I going to go on there and say, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. That was my only defense because I couldn't prove anything. It was impossible. It's something that happened 30 years prior to her going on these. It was 30 years ago that she lied, and it's insane. So I couldn't go on because I couldn't prove anything. Because and there's an expression that a lie goes around the world before the truth can get its pants on, and that's what happened. So I didn't go on those shows because I didn't have information. And honestly, I don't know why she just had an interview recently where she brings it up again. And not only that, every time she goes on a show, my name comes up because I guess she gets some kind of traction with my name. And this time she attached MAGA to it, which gives it all kinds of action. But not only does she lie, but the lies constantly change. It's never, if you're going to lie, write it down. Write it down and remember it and memorize it, because you can't say the white, green, and yellow, and purple, and orange, which is what she's been doing for 7 years. And I'm kind of tired of it because it's affecting other people now around me, and I don't want that anymore. So I'm doing it this way on this podcast because nobody can edit me. I can say what I want because when you do a talk show, you've got 7 minutes to get your stuff out and then you're off, and it's impossible. So I'm going to try to walk through this. Won't take that long. I think you'll enjoy the fact that this is like a crime episode right now, and we're going to expose somebody for being 100% false and saying things about me. I've worked in the business for 50 years and nothing. And out of nowhere, somebody tried, which I heard, is that Nicole, who was claimed bankruptcy 3 times and had other issues. And I don't know if she has an obsession with me. I don't know what it is, but she kind of gets off on this, and it's unfortunate. But I just don't want to be doing this. I'm not going to talk about this anymore, but she's got some issues, and I hope she can solve them, because I'm just minding my damn business, living in Florida with my wife and daughter, trying to live a peaceful life. But she just likes to get out there and bring up my name because it gets copy, and it's all bullshit. All right. So so she is accusing me of something, and so is Alexander, like I said, Polinsky, who played Adam on the show. So he accused me of pouring hot tea on him. I don't drink tea. Rarely. And exposing myself to him in a dressing room. Okay. Nicole Eggert accused me of molesting her, grabbing her by the hair and dragging her through the soundstage, and things that are worse. And it's comical if it wasn't just, just the biggest lie ever. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous for me to grab somebody by the hair on a soundstage and drag her through the soundstage with parents, grips, camera guys, other actors, wardrobe, makeup. There's 60 people. It's nuts. It's nuts. So anyway, that's what they accused me of. I'm going to show you a short video, and in this video, you're going to see how somebody like Nicole is just lying and then changes it and then changes it and changes it and changes it again. Okay, so I think that's all I want to say. So George, go ahead and play the video.
No, because it was way after. We weren't even shooting anymore.
That's not it. Okay, hang on, guys. This is going to be a little bit squirrely for a minute because there's some information here, and that's Kay Lenz and I. Oh, by the way, no, hang on a second. I got it before we do this. George, put up do you have the birthday? Anyway, Nicole Eggert is born on January 13th, 1972. I'm born September 22nd, 1960. So she's saying, put that back up, George. She's saying that she said now that I'm 17 years older than her when I'm 11 years and 2 months older than her. And she also says that I was inappropriate with her when she was 13 in my garage. So if she was 13, I guess she has a time machine, because if she's born in 72, 13 would have been 85. Charles in Charge didn't go into production until the end of 86, which would have made her 14. And then right away, a couple of weeks later, she turned 15 on January 13th. And in that time, January 13th, George, go ahead, play the video. If you can. Can you? I'm doing a lot of talking. Need some water. Anything, George? George. Okay, I'll just go ahead. I'll just keep going. So, George, if you get it, just put it up. So she says that she was in my garage in my house. Okay. At that time,
because it was way after. We weren't even shooting anymore. Here's the honest truth. Is I had another boyfriend.
You were 13 on the show? How old
I know, I was 17. Yeah, but it was years later, okay? I was 17. I started dating this other guy, and I did not want to be a virgin. I was embarrassed that I was a virgin.
It's practice.
So I needed somebody to, pop the cherry and, make me a veteran.
So deal? You told Scott, hey, Baio, hey, can you just come over real quick and knock this out? The one started, I just
pretty much.
Done.
It was pretty much. And then it was do you want to go to dinner? And I was like, no, go.
So it was weird?
No, it wasn't weird. When I turned 17 years old, I really kind of wanted to be around boys my own age and go out and, have more of a social life. And I made that very clear. And he sort of manipulated me in the way of, let me get you ready for boys your own age. And I agreed to that. And it was awkward. It was awkward to say the least.
Are you now claiming that you were not a willing participant in that exchange?
I was a willing participant to an extent. It wasn't a hold me down, rape me kind of situation. No, not at all. But I was 17 years old when I was raped. Do you understand that?
Was Charles in Charge still being, was it still on the air?
Yes.
It was still being shot?
It was still being shot.
And, between 14 and 17, did you tell anybody?
I told a few of my friends, close friends that I knew I could trust. Yeah.
And did you tell anybody?
I didn't tell anybody. No.
Hang on, she's a willing participant. It wasn't a rape, then it was. It was long after the show finished, then it wasn't. I
Clear,
told
she
some
was
close
crazy
friends, but
about
I didn't.
Scott.
As far as any like dating or anything like that, I mean, no. And I was a virgin until I was like almost 19 years old. He always had girlfriends and like playmates and beautiful girls coming to set. So what would he want with a little girl?
He was probably the most eligible bachelor in the U.S.
Scott had a lot of girlfriends and
I
stuff.
don't know what she said. She's made all kinds of things up. To be honest, she's a liability. Me and Willie think she's a liability. She's demanding money from Oz, and they might pay her.
How old is she? I'm 23.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
But, you
You
know.
must have come from a bad family.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
When did you move away from home?
Pretty young.
15?
I don't really remember.
Yeah, so she didn't come from a
Yeah.
bad
She didn't have time to be with him.
No. I have a great family. I have a wonderful family.
Something happened there.
No.
How old were you when you moved out?
I bought my first house when I was 16.
Wow.
You know, I was just thinking about it.
Imagine?
I was yelling at my daughter who was 12 yesterday. She's going to be 16 in 3 years or so, 4 years.
Yeah.
And she could be moving.
No, she's not allowed to do that. That's why I won't let my kids go into show business. So, like, you moved out of your house when you were 6. You bought your first house when you were 16. Went to college for 10 minutes, probably, right? You didn't even bother. Smart.
Did you finish high school?
Yeah.
You did?
I finished high school.
How old were you when you first had sex? Like, well, I guess 14,
Yeah. I was,
15.
I would say 17 or 18.
Were you? Or was it with Scott Baio?
Did you have pubes when you bought that house?
Yeah, had you reached puberty when you bought the house?
Yes.
You did?
Did you leave curly little friends in the bathtub?
No.
Hey, so who was your first boyfriend, Ron Zimmerman?
No, just some guy.
Just some guy?
Some guy.
And you made love to him? And you gave your virginity to him?
No, I didn't want to talk about
Oh, yes, you did.
it. No.
Makes me horny.
Was he an older guy?
Not really. I mean, every guy I went out with is older, but he's, only by a couple of years.
Looking for a father figure.
Hi, it's Willie. I just wanted to let you know that I had a long chat with Vinny today, and we went over our discussion yesterday, and if the time comes, then she's fully on board. We stand next to you too, okay? So, just thought you might like to know that Vinny is fully on board, all right? Love you, buddy. Have a good day.
And then the backlash of he came out as a big Trump supporter. All of this timing was like, couldn't be worse. And so many people were so happy he was a Trump supporter, other Trump supporters. And so I was being accused of this being a political thing. And I am just so not political.
Scott and I were, you just came out of your dressing room, and I'm just double checking to make sure you had the right outfit on. We were walking down the back of this building, down the aisle behind the set, and all of a sudden we heard Alex screaming, and he ran out of the dressing room yelling and ran in to go to see his dad. One of the other male actors in the show, a regular on the show, came out laughing, zipping up his pants, and showed us the hole he had cut in there to scare Alex. And it was not Scott Baio.
Okay, George, stop it there. George.
Okay. Is there
George. Is that the last video? Okay. I think that's all we need right there. That was, so let me explain to you what that was. Alexander accused me of showing my genitals to him in a dressing room, cutting out a hole in a fabric that was backstage. And he accused me of that when it was Willie Aames. That man was Paul. He was the wardrobe man. The other actor was Willie. And I don't want to play the whole tape because it goes on for a while, but it was Willie who did it. So Alex thought he'd be cute and put it to me, right? He thought he'd be funny and tag along with Nicole and put it on me. It had nothing to do with me at all. I was standing outside the dressing room with Paul getting dressed, all right? Now, George, okay, is that the end of the videos? I think so. All right. So go ahead, George.
Well, the adult on the show. Go ahead.
I do know that the teacher probably went to HR with the problem. I don't know if there'd be a record with human resources, but I know there was a meeting that night with said actor and the producer. So,
okay. Are you comfortable saying who it was or no?
George, forget this. Go off this. George, stop it. We know who it was. Willie. It was Willie. We know it's Willie. So now let's go let's go back now. But you guys, do you see? It was years later. The show was off. Then it was on. Did you tell anybody? No. Did you tell anybody? Yes. So she called me. Nicole called me to come over when she was 19 or 20 or 21. And then the next conversation, I manipulated her. I mean, it's a case study in somebody who's a pathological liar and can't keep it. None of it's true. So she keeps making up and making up and making it up. And the last thing was with Willie and Alex, where he said I exposed myself. Now, Nicole Eggert says that I had dated a lot of women. I had dated a lot of beautiful women. Albertan, who was the older gentleman, the executive producer of the show, said it. That was Sandy Kearns, who played the mom in the show. She said I had a lot of beautiful women around. And so Nicole comes on the show at the end of 86. Her birthday is the beginning of 87, so she's 15. She says she was 13 or 14 or whatever. She changes the age every 2 minutes because it sounds worse. She started at 17, now it's 13. Pretty soon it'll be when she's an infant. I don't know what the hell is going on with her. There's something going on, but she came to my house. You know, it's really interesting. She calls me, comes to my house, and I manipulated her. And she shows up, and she's got like a bob, like a short blonde hair. I guess that's when she was doing Baywatch, so it was way after the show. But George, let's see in 87 who was I dating, George? No, that's fine. That's 89. That's a girl named Danya Fiorentino. Go ahead, next one. That's 88. That's Nicolette Sheridan. That's 88. That's Nicolette. In 87, I was dating Kay Lenz. That's Nicolette and I in November of 87. Go ahead. There's Nicolette again and I in 88. Next one. That's Pamela and I, 1990. And then, and there's Pamela and I, 90, 91. So I dated Pamela until like 91. And so, and there's Kay, whom I dated in 87, who was actually on Charles in Charge. And she confirmed that I was living in a condominium when Nicole said I was taking advantage of her in my garage. I lived in a condominium with a public garage. So that's another bullshit story. All right. Everything she says is just complete and utter nonsense. Now, I'm just going to go through a couple of things here. This is Alec. This is Paul, the wardrobe man, who says that Scott didn't do anything. He was with me the whole time. This is just these are statements from a Dawson Ryan Associates. They're investigators. This is one from Amber Kemp Cole. This is Nicole's friend. All right. Hang on a second. Guys, I'm sorry. There's a lot of action. She showed up to my house with the short hair, like cut from Baywatch is what I meant to say. So now this is from Amber Kemp Cole, her friend. She says, this is from this place. She says she talked often about Scott, about how she wanted to get on his Nickelodeon show, See Dad Run, which started in 2012, said Amber. She never said anything about Scott Baio touching her or molesting her. Amber said she never told me anything bad about Scott or underage touching. Eggert did say that she and Scott had sex once. She described it to Amber exactly as she had on Nick Ritchie's show. Eggert wanted her cherry popped and picked Scott to do it. It was after Charles in Charge was no longer in production. Eggert was over 18. It was like bragging when she said that she gave up her virginity to Scott. She decided to go over to his house. She was the aggressor. Can you do this for me? That was a typical, it is about me, Nicole thing to do. It was always about her. George, as I read the next one, do me a favor. Go back to the end of that video where she's on my reality show, will you please? I forgot about that, if you can. She filed for bankruptcy. This is her friend Amber Kemp Cole. She filed for bankruptcy. So I don't know if she was trying to extort money from me. I have no idea. Several times, she filed for bankruptcy. All right. Who's this one? This is from Lisa F. When Nicole and her mother first started going to the tapings, they would wait. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This woman got to know me, Lisa F. In this interview, she says how I was protecting somebody on the set from an older gentleman who was being rude to a young girl. All right, that's that one. Now,
you want to know who it is? I can say who it was. Yes.
Watch this.
Okay, so you're.
Sorry to bounce all over, folks. There's a lot of stuff here. I just want to get it all in. Go ahead, George. This is somebody that's been abused by me. Watch this. Here you go. That was it.
There were two of them, regulars.
And one is passed, and it's the one that's survived.
I remember being on set and like having the Playboy magazine and like picking it out like it was a Sears catalog.
Okay. On my reality show twice because I abused her. It's absurd. The whole thing is absurd. And maybe you can watch this. Maybe you can get a guest spot. I'll read the bottom of this. Maybe you could get a guest star on his Nick at Night show, which was in 2013. I would love to work with him. There are a lot of weird, strange rumors about things that went on between us, but we became really good friends and everything was way more innocent than it was made out to be. We definitely had a fun time, and he definitely was a big part of my growing up, and I think the other two kids from the show would say the same thing. I would love to work with him again, and I'm friends with his wife, and yeah, totally, it would be so much fun. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say, but this is Ellen Travolta. Scott's father was always around. Nicole's mother was always around. Hang on. Nicole's mother was always around. Ellen said that she always thought Nicole had a crush on Scott. And she said that I was an admirable young man. There was somebody else who came on the set and said that I always had a bodyguard, which I did. Had a bodyguard on the show because my life had been threatened several times. Kay Lenz made a statement. We started going out New Year's Eve, 87. So that's 86. That's when I started seeing Kay. We were pretty exclusive. So she says she was 14, then 13. So I didn't know her at 13. 14, she's barely on the show. 15, I start dating Kay Lenz on New Year's Eve. Okay. I lived in a condominium on Chandler, which was a big garage. Kay was baffled by all of it. She didn't know what was going on. In this one, guys, I'm sorry, but I have to do this, and I hope you're still on there. This is from Tammy Tierney. The two became friends, hung out with the same people, and went to parties. Tammy said that she commented about Scott Baio, saying that she would hook up with him in a minute. Eggert looked at Tammy and said that if he wouldn't hook up with me, he surely wouldn't hook up with you. She told Tammy that there was no way Scott Baio was hooking up with a 16-year-old girl. Eggert added, "Believe me, I've tried." Okay. This is again from Tammy. I always had a girlfriend on the set. There was always a girl on the set with Scott. I always had a bodyguard. And people ask me, why don't, anyway, I could go on and on and on and on and on with witnesses and people. And just let me reiterate something here. She says that I manipulated her. Then she says she called me, she initiated it, she instigated it to come over to my house and pop her cherry, which is a very classy thing to say. Okay? So she calls me. Hey, what are you doing? I said, nothing. The show was done. I was broken up with Pamela. She said, hey, can I come over? I'm driving up the block. Yeah, people would come over all the time. Showed up, didn't recognize it because the hair was all cut. And I was like, whoa. And, that's, so what, it happened. She was maybe 20. Her words, way after the show was done. Why don't you get a cease and desist letter? I did. Doesn't work. She just keeps going. She asked me to take polygraph. Took 5 of them. 2 old school, 3 new school, electronic. No deception indicated. Truthful to all questions. The questions were, did you have any kind of sexual contact with Nicole Eggert before she turned 18? No. Did you put your finger in Nicole Eggert's vagina before she turned 18? No. Did you ever threaten Nicole Eggert she needed to keep your alleged sexual contact with her a secret? No. Did you ever expose your genitals to Alexander Polinsky? No. All came back. No detection. I mean, no telling. All came back truthful. All right. So that is, I think that's my part of it. But I just want to go back and say this just one more time because it's bizarre. I don't know how many different versions of a lie she tells, but but you saw it in the video. Did you tell anybody? No. Did you tell anybody? Just a few close friends. You initiated it. By the way, she was married. My wife will tell you that. She's going to come out. She was married, I think towards the end of the show, to a boy named Ricardo. I think she was married, but I'm not 100% on that, but my wife will. Okay. So, George, pipe in my wife, please. Hi, honey. Did I leave anything out?
I don't really know what I'm doing. How do I make it full screen?
Just hit the full screen.
I think I found it. Oh, I think I found it. Okay.
Did I leave anything out?
A few things.
Like, tell me, because there's a lot.
Well, here are the deeds to your homes right here. During the whole time you were on Charles in Charge, you never had a garage. we supplied all of this to the Los Angeles Police Department and the LADA, the District Attorney's Office, and all of the things that that my husband was reading from. Those are sworn under oath statements from people. There were over 30 of them from former friends during former friends of Eggert's when she was that age on the show, former friends up until recent years before 2018, 15-year plus relationship of friendships, crew members, co-stars, and we only pulled the ones that were very, very crucial and important, such as you always had a bodyguard. They were studio teachers, all kinds of stuff like that. At no point in time was there ever an incident report, because we hired a private investigator. And the reason why we had to hire a private investigator is because when you have someone criminally charging you, in order to have a criminal defense lawyer, they require you to hire their private investigator. And that private investigator is the person that goes out and interviews all of your witnesses. And then they put it in the format, like Scott, hold the picture up again, like that format. That's, you can hold one up to show, or no? Scott?
What do you want me to show?
Hold up one of the statements that are sworn statements that we.
Dawson.
Yeah, but just show it. Okay, so that's what it looks like when you give evidence to the DA and to the LAPD. Okay, so we are required to pay that criminal lawyer's person that he has in-house. It is a private investigator. Eggert has said on numerous occasions that we had her followed and private investigator. That is not true. That's a load of crap. All of these were compiled. They're sworn under oath, and we pulled out the main ones. Now, people were talking about Willie Aames and stuff. Willie Aames is like a chameleon. If he's on a tree, he's brown. If he's on a leaf, he's green. And he played both sides, and we called him out for the person that he is. He's not a very good human being. But I can tell you with great certainty that we got a phone call from Willie telling us that 2 LAPD officers flew up to Canada where he was living, and they were with him when he said, quote unquote, work. And we thought he was still on a cruise ship working. And evidently he was working on a Hallmark set, because whenever they caught wind of this, they threatened to fire him. And I have an email that was sent to one of our witnesses named Pam that talks about, the Hallmark and Hallmark. I think there it is. I'm looking at everything backwards. And so we have all of this that was submitted to LAPD, but they make no mistake. They flew up there, and he did not have good things to say about Nicole. In fact, he talked about her heavy drinking and stuff. Now, Josie, rightfully so, and I don't blame her, did not want to be involved in the crossfires of co-stars and people that she grew up with. However, this is a public tweet from April 19th of 2018, and we blew it up so everybody can see it. So let's look at that. Wait, there we go. See that? And then again, Nicole Eggert came after and invoked Josie Davis. This was on March 3rd of 2020. Let me show you this one. See that? So, Josie, I met Josie on her 30th birthday. Had a surprise 30th birthday for her. Her boyfriend at the time, or the guy she was dating at the time, was best friends with my boyfriend at the time. And that's how I first met her. And, over the years, we've just kept in touch. So I've known her for a long time. So What I would also like to share with you guys, this is what we first showed whenever they first made the allegations. Most of Scott's scripts, they were all in storage or all cataloged and stuff, but we did go online and we found one from May 18th of 1990. Now, she said that it was long after the show, and this is important. This was actually an autograph. It's just a cover page. This is the production run, so it's not a first run. May 16th or 18th of 1990. See this date right here? Now, what that proves, and this is what we gave to Dr. Oz, what this proves is that she was 18. She was 18 in 1990. The blow up in the green room that you can Google, Nicole Eggert blows up in Dr. Oz green room. And TMZ has the full video from the little clip that George showed earlier. And when she says, all I know is that I was 17 whenever he raped me. The ages did not, and the dates did not marry up because her best friend at the time, she said that on her best friend's 16th birthday is when she said that Scott and her had relations. The problem is that if you look at that Christie's, her best friend, her birth date, Nicole's 2 years older than her. So Dr. Oz producers, they caught her in that lie that she was over 18. And so they invited her to come back. So she was on the show twice, but it was only aired once. If you look, Dr. Oz is wearing two different outfits. Nicole's wearing two different outfits because they brought her out in December. They brought her out in December because Alex shopped it in December. She made that first allegation with this tweet. And let me just back up. She's done 2 podcasts in the last 5 weeks. One podcast, she states, "Oh, it was fun working with Scott on that set. It was a great, it was a great time working. And whenever he directed, the day went by fast. And so that's why, it wasn't a lot of work." And then 2 weeks ago, when she was on a podcast, she said it was horrible and she was 13 and that MAGA people were coming to her house and harassing her to the point she had to move out. And then she invoked me. And that's a son of a bitch thing to do. Because I've been nothing but nice to her for many years, sending her kids newborn clothing and all this stuff. I mean, I have been nothing but straight up a good friend to her. And so now her story from 2 weeks ago, she's saying, "Oh, his wife, she's known me as Renee Sloan before she ever knew me as Renee Baio. I had a clothing company in 2003 called Whip Couture Clothing. She came to my Emmy gift bags. Look up Whip Couture Emmy Gifting 2003. You'll see her holding the bag. It has my clothing company name on it. You'll see Scott Baio whenever he was with his older girlfriend at the time. But she's known me forever. And now all of a sudden his wife, in a vindictive way, she 2 weeks ago said, I wasn't going to come out and say anything at all, but his wife just kept harassing me. And so I put it out there. I put it all out there online. That is not true. On January 27th, now it's key to remember, Alexander Polinsky contacted Dr. Oz and people, or they contacted him because evidently he tweeted something in December and it caught some error or something. I don't know. And they wasn't interested in him because there was nothing sexual other than, he's saying that Scott was mean to him, whatever. That wasn't, newsworthy or viewership worthy. And so he brought Nicole in on this. Now, there's some guy named Tony. I don't even want to give his last name because he's some guy that lost a lot of weight, was featured on People magazine, and all of a sudden he's a comedian, and he's a liberal comedian, and he's biased against my husband because on January 27th of 2018, he said Scott Baio's not able to go to with the president to Switzerland, but in support, he will only be serving Swiss cheese on all the Subway sandwiches he makes as a Subway on his night shift tonight. had nothing to do with me. Absolutely nothing to do with me. And this is what she wrote back. Ask Scott Baio what happened in his garage at his house when I was a minor. Creep. This is what started it. It was not Scott Baio's wife. I'm here to help end this, though, because guess what? I'm tired of this. This is occupied too much of my life. I don't have a good health about it. It's going on 8 years, which is half of our child's life. And it's not okay. What else am I going to show you? Oh, she also has stated that the police report is sealed. It's sealed because she was a minor. It's sealed and no one can ever see it. Here it is. I have it. See that? It's backwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4 counts. Let me tell you what they are. And her name has been blocked out. They didn't block out my husband's name. Right here. Signed. Right there it is. So this first count right here. See it? Notice how all the counts are on January 13th. That's her birthday. On a police report, you have to put the date of the incident. There's 4 counts. 1987, 86, 88, and 89. The first one, she was 15. If you want to look up these penal codes, oral copulation. The list right here, lack of evidence. Penal code 289, penetration. Lack of evidence. Penal code 288A, B, and 1. Copulate with mouth or sex with sex organ. I don't know what that means, but guess what? That one doesn't. Lack of evidence. And the last one right here, this one, that is considered statutory rape for someone under the legal age of 18. Now, lack of evidence. You know why? There was no rape kit. Nothing. Now, it is not sealed. It's all right there. Everybody can see it. It's right there. See that? I paid to have a copy of it, and I got it. And I've had it. I've had it for 7 years. Now, let me show you these tweets. March 8th of 2020. I'm not interested in civil. It has never been about money. I want awareness and for him to be registered, like a sex offender, I guess. I will get that as soon as these new laws go into action. See this? Here's another one. I filed a police report right here. A full investigation was done, but we all know the statute of limitation laws were in the way. Luckily, those laws are changing, and hopefully we can reopen the case. Please don't forget, I'm not his only victim speaking out. One more, 3rd time's the charm. Right here. Because of the SOL, we have changed the laws, and we can reopen the case. So keep up something, keep up or shut up. I don't know what she was saying. And then right here, charges were dropped due to the statute of limitation laws. However, we are in the process of being changed and the case will be reopened. Now, here's the thing. In the state of California, she's absolutely right. So she had from 2018 to 2022 to reopen those statutes. She did not come after Scott again. Alex didn't come after Scott again. Alex never even filed a police report to begin with. He just went up there on Valentine's Day with his dirty, nasty ass hair, looking like a homeless person, talking crazy about my husband. Okay, he pulled the fire alarm and ran out and left her to do everything. She did do the police report, but it was not to her advantage. So she cannot say statute of limitations. That's the only reason why Scott Baio got off. No, she had 3 years, and she has 4 tweets to prove it, that she knew that was the new law. She never once filed again, to have him charged, for him to be to be on a registry, to do any time, to pay any restitution. Nothing. Neither Alex nor Eggert, neither one of them tried to sue us in civil. Because why? In civil court, not to mention the anti-SLAPP motion for the state of California, there's something called discovery. And people would discover what? That she's a narcissist and a liar. And also, let's just talk about real quick phone records. She tried to say that my husband was calling her and spoofed her. Again, private investigator pulled up all of Scott's Verizon phone records, and nothing was found. What they did do is they hacked into my husband's phone, and they were calling him with his number. And he was like, what the heck is that? And then all of a sudden he got a phone call from somebody saying, do you want this all go away? We can make it all go away. And then 2 weeks after that, she goes on Twitter and she's very braggadocious to the point that the Blast, it's kind of like TMZ, but it's called the Blast. They picked up on it that she had teamed up with Anonymous, the hackers. And not only Anonymous, but someone that went to prison in Europe. Daniel something Daniel is his last name. And he did hard time for being a hacker. And very happy about that. And they've hacked into numerous people. Any type of person that would retweet what Scott tweeted, regardless if they followed Scott or anything, just a retweet. She would target in her and her cousin Sammy that lives in England, and her group of trolls or hackers. They just was relentless. They harassed. I know I'm going on and on, but this is important. It's very important. She went after a combat veteran that was at the verge of committing suicide. She came after a woman that was bipolar. We all have all these screenshots. We're going to make a video of all of this stuff, minus the police report and my husband's property deeds. And we are going to put all of this on Scott's YouTube. I've got 2 witnesses that is going to be, their testimony is going to be on YouTube. And let's just talk about,
Renee, mention the marriage.
Oh, yes. Okay, right here. On March 8th of 2020, from the horse's mouth, right here. I need to have the full screen in order to be able to show it. See that? Everybody see that? By 18, I was married. Okay. Our private investigator investigated her ex-husband. They were married towards the end of 90, which made her 18. And they were married, it looks like they were married maybe a year and a half. They were married in Las Vegas, Nevada. And it's all right here. He has a string of getting arrested. It doesn't say for what for. But let me read this part. This was for public records, besides them getting married in Vegas. Item number 4 right here. Man, this is all backwards. Let me see. Number 4. You see this? In 91, they got sued by their landlord. They got sued and evicted. So in 91, they were living together. At the end of 90, because she even said it, she was 18. She was 18 in January 13th of 1990. She was living with and got evicted from this guy. And on one of the witnesses, her first name is Christina. I don't want to give too much of the last names because a lot of people They feared coming out because of her nasty, harassment. Right here, it says, let me just see if I can put that up there for people can read it for themselves. The stuff that's underlined. See that? Her mother, she ran away from home. Christina said that Eggert's next boyfriend, so she went from one boyfriend to another, who was not quite 18. He's born in 1970, by the way. He's born December 12th or something of 1970. Named Ricardo. Christina said that Eggert ran away from home because she did not want her mother to know that she had a black boyfriend. She ended up living with Ricardo in his house in Laurel Canyon alongside Ricardo's 7 siblings. It's all right here. This is all verified, checked and rechecked, submitted to LAPD and to the district attorney. Ricardo was born December 12th of 1970, right there. Married in Nevada. So, anyhow, that's important. I want to talk about her character assassination to anybody. And I run a nonprofit. We lost our daughter's twin. We can't have any more kids. I had a good friend that we met through my nonprofit. He's an artist. He actually lives in Nevada, and he makes special needs children into superheroes. Like he'll make a little girl like Supergirl or something, but it really looks like them. Or he'll make a girl or a child that's can't walk, that's in a wheelchair. He'll make it where they're flying, or so that they have special powers and stuff. And he's just such a great guy. And his Twitter is Keith Pencil because he's an artist. And Keith tweeted something to me and to Scott because we had just had we were getting ready for our annual charity golf tournament, which raises money for these children. And this is what she wrote on April 20th of 18. See that? And I finally stepped up and said something right there. This was picked up by the media. TMZ, everybody condemned her. And then she tried to walk it back. She just meant that, that I'm fake, or that I'm this, I'm that. She doxed my daughter's elementary school. We had to take her out of elementary school. We changed her school. She doxed her new school. She doxed her church. She dox means you're giving out the information. You're giving out addresses and stuff online, and it's a minor child. She doxed our home, our country club, because she knew she played golf. And then she goes on, and now she starts targeting my nonprofit. Look at this. See that? This is important because if you cross her, this is what she does to you. Lisa Ripp is a woman that she was going through a hard time many years ago, and she turned to drugs. She had money. She wasn't like hooking or anything to do drugs. She got into doing some drugs. She had money. She was very naive. And this is her testimony that I'm going to put on YouTube later tonight or tomorrow. And she knocked on the door to the drug dealer, and he says, yeah, come on in. He closed the door. He kidnapped her. He raped her so many times, and he raped her with a plunger. He beat her to the point where her mouth was wired shut. That man, it took 11 years for her to get him convicted. He got life in prison, and he died in prison. They found this out about this woman because she retweeted Scott, and Eggert and her cousin tormented her so much, accused her of doing bath salts, accused her of being a sex offender, all kinds of stuff. She had just got a job working for a Christian company. They fired her. The next day, she attempted suicide. She went after a woman, a single woman that's a school teacher going through stage 4 breast cancer. And he shamed her for having a GoFundMe. Nicole came out last year saying that she had breast cancer and she couldn't do for her kids, her 2 kids. Well, one of her kids is almost 30 years old, living in New York. So she's a grown ass adult. And Nicole has a GoFundMe. Okay, I'm almost through, Scott. When this first came out, Alex's partner, that I'm also going to put her testimony on YouTube because it's too long to do it on here. She believed her business partner, Alex, at first. Here's a text message from Nicole Eggert and Pam. See that?
Read it. Read it.
Well, I need to have the full screen so people can see. You've got
just read it. We saw it, but just read it.
It says, please, please, please keep screenshotting Renee Baio's tweets, all of them. She had her lawyer call Lisa Bloom today and say how hurt she was from all of my tweets today. Laughable. So I got to her and I hardly even got started. She is cracking, crazier than a cartoon. Let's keep this good fight going.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
No, I'm not finished.
I thought you said you were done. I'm sorry.
No. I need the full screen so people can see this. Look at this.
We can see it.
Unwarranted. Just unhinged. See this? See this? See the dates? Couple more. Couple more. This is where she took great pride in doxing people. I need the full screen, Scott. She doxed one woman, Roz, and Roz ended up dying of cancer during all of this, and she glorified her death. See, this is where she doxed. Doxed meaning she gave out her street address, phone number, everything. Look at this one. This was the combat veteran. I mean, it just keeps going and going and going. And it's just so unnecessary. We moved to Florida to have a better life and, to invest in our daughter's future with golf. And we kept putting this behind us. And every so often she would come up and start it again. There's things here where she says, I hardly even talk about Baio. It's been like 2 years. Yeah. Well, I mean, she's done it twice in the last 5 weeks. Yeah. But now here's the problem. Someone took that presser that they did, that press conference on February 14th of 2018 of Lisa Bloom, Nicole Eggert, and Alexander Polinsky. Someone took that and they put it on TikTok about 3 months ago. It has been seen on TikTok 1.3 million times. So what does that do? You know what it does? It causes people that's never heard of this to start believing and condemning my husband. And what do? They come after me. I have thick skin. But they come after Bailey. Now, we went to great lengths our daughter's entire life from like age 3, whenever you start changing from being a toddler to a little girl, we covered her face. If you're one of my husband's, super fans and supporters, and you followed him, we'd always put a flower over her face so you would never recognize her. We covered her face up until about 1.5 years. And her golf academy and the recruiting agency, they said she has to have a social media presence for golf. You're going to have to show her face. So, I mean, Bailey's been a junior brand ambassador since she's 8. Well, guess what? They can still sell products using our child, but they never showed her face. We went to great lengths showing the back of her swing in the club. Now, you know what they do to her? Watch this. Watch this. Stand by. Bailey. Bailey, come here.
Okay. Hey guys. So I'm Bailey. If you don't know me, I'm Scott Baio's daughter and Renee Baio's daughter. This has been happening for half of my life. I think I was 7 or 8 when this started.
You were 8, almost 9.
I was 8, almost 9. I'm turning 18 in November. The stuff that she has done is like, she's kind of acting like a child, to be honest with you. And the lies, and she just always lies. And the fact that now that I have an Instagram and all of these haters, they say the most inappropriate stuff. And the fact that I'm turning 18, they say even more inappropriate stuff, like about what
like you've never even held a boy's hand or had a boyfriend.
No, I've never had a boyfriend.
And they go ahead and say it, Bailey, how vulgar they talk. Go ahead. I'm giving you permission of you know, it's graphic. Just know. Asking her dad.
I don't want to say it.
They insinuate that her dad is doing things.
Yeah, no.
And the fact that I think this was in 2018, she said that my dad needed to come out clean to show his daughter that, like, to protect his daughter or something.
Be a good parent.
To be a good parent. Well, my dad is a good parent. He taught me not to lie. He taught me to be a Christian. He taught me to always stand up for myself. And I believe my dad is innocent. My dad has done nothing wrong. Even though I was born in 2007, so like I wasn't alive in the 90s or wherever this took place. But the fact that she changed it, whenever I was 9 years old, I somewhat knew what was going on, not really. But I remember it caused a lot of my family so much stress. It caused my mom to I think it caused her from having 2 brain tumors to 9. And I don't know if you know what, like, the brain tumors my mom has, but the surgery, you have to be awake for it. And it's like 12 hours. And I don't want my mom to go through that. And this woman has caused so much stress. No one came after her daughter. No one did. Not because I think her second daughter is like 13. No one came after her. Only me. And you know what? I didn't want to have my childhood like this. I really didn't. And people sometimes at school, whenever they find out my dad's famous, they search me up and that will pop up. They search my dad up, that will pop up. And they ask me. And I have to say it's not true. And people start looking at me differently and like seeing it. And the fact that I had to change schools, I think it was a Viewpoint to Oaks. Yeah. And I think I had to have a bodyguard at the time because it was so bad that I actually thought she was going to come to my school.
Well, we had trackers on 2 of her cars. So, yeah.
And the fact that she can come after a minor child is just very
Bailey, that was beautiful. And I'm sorry. I am sorry that you have to live through any of this because of people in my life, and I apologize. So anyway, guys, there was a lot there. I know she's not going to stop. She won't stop because it's I think it's what keeps her going every day.
It's important to know though that she kept talking about the statute of limitations. They opened it back up. She had 3 years. Alex had 3 years. They did nothing. Nothing.
Anyway,
also, I have one more thing to say. I'm sorry. The fact that she came after the foundation is very disrespectful because I don't think people understand what I had to go through when I was born and what my parents had to go through. It's a real thing. Glutaric aciduria type 1 is a real thing. It's not a fake thing.
Okay, sweetheart. Anyway, very good. Bailey, again, I'm sorry.
Listen, our daughter is fed up too. It's been half of her life, and now she's reached the age of accountability to know what's going on. And it's cost her friends. It's cost her relationships with people because they just assume the worst in someone, because this whole believe all women stuff is crap.
Yeah.
I was abused by 2 people. I know. My story never changed. I never wanted to be in their home. I never wanted to be on TV with them. I never wanted to have relations with them. I can remember the wallpaper, the curtains, their breath. It's never, ever changed.
Yeah.
She's a liar. Nicole Eggert, sue me. I embrace it. I welcome it. Sue me.
Guys, thank you for
And
watching.
if I could throat punch you and get away with it, I would have a long damn time ago.
Thank you for watching, and it was a lot, and I appreciate it, and hopefully she won't stop, but you know, this is our way of saying she just lied. So God bless all of you. I wish you all the best, and we'll see you next week where we'll have a little bit more fun. That's it.
See up my nose with the